Apparently it's cold.
What up, YouTube? Jordan Lance, Redeye Racing, back for another video today. And today, I'm taking you through how much each one of my Hellcats cost and what I do to afford them. So let's go. What up, YouTube? First of all, I just want to say this video was by request, so thank you to the subscribers that requested for this info, for the pricing on the Hellcats and for the how I can afford it. And I'm not trying to sound cocky in this video. I'm really just going through the prices and telling you how I afford it and kind of just my philosophy on life. So let's go. All right, YouTube, just because this sound never gets old. Gets old. Today we're going to talk about how much each one of my Hellcats cost, what the payments are, what the MSRP was, and what I do to afford them. So just trying to get my navigation going here. All right, so get your calculators out. It's time to do some math. We're going to start with the Charger. We'll start with the Charger. So number one is I lease the Charger. So what I use when I'm trying to buy a car, lease a car specifically, is the 40% rule. So basically I'm going to take the sum of my down payment and all of my monthly payments and divide that number by the MSRP, and it should be somewhere in the 40% range. Now if you go lower than 40%, then you're getting a great deal. If you're at 40%, you're getting a really good deal. If you're somewhere between 40 and 45 and you're buying a really nice car, a luxury car, great deal. So if we take my Hellcat, my Charger, for example, MSRP was $71,000 and change. My down payment was $0. So I recommend that you don't put any money down. That's number one, because you'd rather have that money in your pocket. If you think that having a lower monthly payment is really going to help you, then go for it, but I would really recommend you just sticking that money in your pocket. So say they have a deal where it's like $2,000 down, $299 a month. Well, just take that $2,000 and divide it over the length of your lease and have your payment go up a few bucks a month. And you know, the interest charge will be next to nothing. So really recommend you just throw your down payment over the life of the lease. But anyways, yeah, so my monthly payment, $800, so without tax, just take the tax out of it on a lease. So $800 a month for the Charger. Now it's a 42-month lease, so if you take the 40% rule, normally you're thinking about a 36-month lease. So because I did a 42-month lease, I'm willing to pay a little more, a little higher percentage of the car. And you got to take into account that Hellcats and luxury cars, really nice cars, don't lease well, because a used luxury car has a much higher drop off, you know, the second you drive it off the lot. A Toyota Camry, you know, doesn't devalue as much as a Hellcat when you drive it off the lot. So especially the way that people drive these cars, it's got over 700 horsepower. You're pushing all of the parts to the limits. It's especially on a lease, if you're going to give it back, the dealer wants to make sure they're getting enough money to cover the repairs down the line, or you know, the money they're going to have to use to recertify it once you turn it back in. So that's number one. You gotta think about, Hellcats do not lease well, and I'm not saying that I got the best deal in the entire world, but I think I got a pretty damn good deal for a car over 700 horsepower for 42-month lease. So listen, 71,000, that's the number we're going to use. 71,000 as the MSRP. 800 is my monthly payment, no down payment. 42-month lease. So we get out the calculator, we take 800, we times it by 42 payments. Okay, that's 33,600. Then we divide that by 71,000. I'm paying 47% of the MSRP of the car for a 42-month lease. So ideally, I would have liked to see that number somewhere in the 40, I mean, yeah, I would love to see it be 38% of the car. I would love to see it be 40. I would love to see it be 42. But I mean, for a 42-month lease, and for the kind of car that it is, to be under 50% is really a win. So if you guys out there, you're looking at leasing versus buying, if you can get a deal on a lease where you're under 50%, you're in the 45 to 47 range, I would recommend you do it. You're covered completely under warranty for the life of your loan. You don't have to pay tax on the entire MSRP. You only have to pay tax on your lease, on what you're paying. So that is a huge advantage. If you don't want to pay the full tax, then yeah, I would say go with the lease, because you get 700 horsepower and you're completely covered under warranty. You don't have to pay the entire tax. I mean, it's definitely a solid option if it leases at a decent rate. But we'll switch over to the Redeye now.
Another one.
And I'll tell you why I bought it. So the lease deals that they were giving me were for 36 months, $1,250 a month with $6,500 down. So the MSRP of that car was $83,500. Now let's do the math on that, and we'll see how good of a deal it was compared to the Charger. So we got to take into account our $6,500 down, but we're gonna go $1,250 a month times 36. That's $45,000. Then we're gonna add the $6,500. That's $51,500. Then we're gonna divide that by the MSRP, $83,500. That's 61.67%. So they wanted me to pay 61.6% of the car over a 3-year lease. Now, that makes absolutely zero sense. I get that it's a muscle car, it's very powerful, but it's only got 90 more horsepower than a Charger Hellcat. Why are the lease deals so shitty for a Redeye? I get it's top of the line, you know, it's a 2.7 liter supercharger over the 2.4. It's got the Demon drivetrain, you know. It's an amazing car. I love it to death. But I would never in my life lease it for 61.67%. So when we did the numbers for a purchase, they made a lot more sense. My total amount financed with tax was $83,400 or $83,500.
Nice.
Close to what the MSRP was. So basically, with the power dollars and some negotiating, I got them to come down to $83,500, my amount financed out the door. I did a 7-year purchase, so 7-year loan, my payment was $12.49, is $12.49 a month, which is exactly what they wanted for the lease deal. If I'm gonna pay the same exact thing per month on a lease or a purchase, obviously I'm gonna take the purchase because I'm paying equity towards the car. Obviously I have to pay the tax. I had to pay the tax on the entire $83,000, and you know, eventually my warranty will run out. I did get an extended warranty, but I think I'm gonna cancel it because I'm gonna void the warranty anyway, doing a bunch of different mods to it. But it just made a whole lot more sense to purchase that car. On the 2020s, it's a little different. They are asking for, oh, that's a one-way street. It's a good way to wreck your Redeye. But yeah, I mean, realistically, those are good numbers. Like I said, did I get the best deals of all time? No, probably not. Now, I would love to see everyone else's payments, what they're, you know, what they think I should have been paying for mine. If they have any thoughts on if I got a good deal, if I got a bad deal. But I know someone that works at the Russell Westbrook dealer that is leasing a Challenger wide-body Hellcat for $12.50, and I'm buying a Redeye for $12.50. So someone that works there is paying the same payment as me on a lease. Now, that's got to count for something, right? So now let's talk a little bit about what I do to afford these beasts. That's number 2. So what I do, I'm the director of sales and marketing for a Bluetooth audio company. Now we sell Bluetooth speakers, from your big DJ systems to your little Bluetooth guys. Let's keep driving. Let's see if we can do a couple pulls here. She's all warmed up. Let's see where she's at. Even though she's out of gas, that's where we're headed right now. All right, here we go. Traction control just went crazy. We sell everybody in the US. You know, I have some really big accounts, and I am always trying to get new accounts, and you know, I have a salary and then I make commission on my sales. So that is how I pay my bills. Now, how did I get to owning 2 Hellcats, I think is a little different story. You know, I think it has a lot to do with your mentality, and not, I don't think it's luck. I don't think that, you know, I was just lucky and I'm, you know, was raised in the right family and, you know, it was just given to me, you know what I mean? Yes, my dad is an attorney. Now, he could have given me everything from when I was a little kid and, you know, let me have a great life and, you know, spoil me and giving me everything that I wanted, but he didn't. And I'm extremely, extremely, extremely grateful for that. At the time I wasn't, because obviously you know, when I turned 15 and a half, 16, I wanted him to buy me a brand new Benz, obviously, like, but now I'm extremely grateful that he did not do that, because it taught me to do everything for myself. It taught me that if I wanted something, I had to go get it. I had a job at 15, you know, I paid for my own car, I paid for the insurance, I paid for my phone, I paid for everything since I was 16 years old. If I wanted to go eat, you know, and I wasn't with my family, I was with my friends, I had to pay for it. So I had to get a job, and I worked in the summers, I worked in the weekends during the year, in the school year. I played football in college, you know. It wasn't easy, of course, it wasn't easy, but I'm so thankful that my dad did that for me, because it taught me how to be successful. And honestly, guys, I can't say anything else was more impactful on where I am today than that. But it's easy to get ahead if you just work as hard as you possibly can for what you want. If you want to buy your dream car, if you want to buy a house, if you want to buy a Rolex, if you want to go on a world vacation but you don't have the money, if you want to own a business, if you want to take care of your family, if you want to give back to charity, if you want to do any of those things, whatever you want to do, be the best at it. See who's being successful in that business and copy them. It's not that hard to get ahead, guys. It's really, really not that hard. All you have to do is work as hard as you can for what you want. No one else out there should be able to outwork you. They might beat you on talent, they might beat you on genetics, they might look better than you, they might have a better voice than you, they might sing better, dance better. But you shouldn't, at the end of the day, be able to go to sleep and say, man, I really got outworked today. If you want to be the best football player, you should have been on the practice field, you should have been in the weight room, you should have eaten the right things. And then if it's still not working, if you're still not seeing results, then change something. But too many people say they want something, but don't do anything to go get it. Are there special circumstances where, you know, things are hard and it's tough and you weren't given as many opportunities as anyone else? Yeah, maybe. Maybe things are tough. You know what? Maybe things are harder than for the next guy. Maybe it's not as easy as it is for some people. But you know what? That makes it way more worth it. When you finally get what you want, it is so worth it to know that you worked as hard as you can for that thing and that you outworked everyone else. Whatever you wanted to do, if you had a chance to do it and you chose to go out and drink, if you chose to go hang out with friends, you chose to sit at home and watch TV, well, maybe you should look at those things before you complain and say, oh man, I don't know why I'm not making any money. I don't know why I'm not, you know, getting any more views. I don't know why I'm not getting any fitter. I don't know, you know, there's a simple process you gotta follow. I want this thing. What do I have to do to go get it? Set baby mini goals, set a process for how you're gonna get there, and work your ass off to get to that goal. If it doesn't work, then fine. Then you can come back to me and say, you know what, I worked as hard as I could every day to get what I wanted and I still didn't get it. Fine. But if you start seeing some results, you say, hey, you know what, this isn't that bad. You know, at first it's hard. At first you gotta walk. At first you're sweating your ass off. At first you're sucking wind. Then it gets a little easier. It gets a little easier. It gets a little easier until before you know it, you look back and you're like, damn, look what I did. Working hard is actually fun. I get to achieve my goals. And achieving your goals is everything in life, right? I mean, what's life without having goals and going and getting them? If you're not trying to better yourself and better the people around you, better your family and your situation, I mean, all right, enough ranting for me today, guys. I'm just very passionate about working hard and going to get what you want in life. Do I think I've made it by any stretch of my imagination? No. Should I be saving my money to put towards a house or maybe some better financial investments? Maybe, but you know what? I'm 28, I'm young, I'm gonna live. I'm passionate about cars. I absolutely love cars. I love going fast. I love creating content for you guys. I like making friends and being social, and you know, YouTube is just such an awesome outlet for me to share my journey with you guys. So keep watching, guys. I got a ton of content coming soon. Yeah, and I'm just gonna keep working my ass off over here and buying car parts and throwing them on the cars. And you know what, you guys can come along for the journey. That'd be awesome. So Jordan Lance, Redeye Racing, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.